if you're a service-based business here in Columbus that is looking to grow, then this video is for you. You're most likely good at what you do, but let's be real. Not enough people here in Columbus know about your service. The one thing you're missing is the attention from your perfect fit clients that are willing to pay you what you're worth. This one local Instagram ad strategy that I'm about to break down for you has helped 100+ service businesses just like you finally stand out and bring in high quality leads. If you want to scale here in town, just give me 10 to 15 minutes of your time where I break down how you can have an advantage over every one of your competitors. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, guys, let's dive right in here. If you're watching this and you're a local service business here in Columbus, Ohio, I'm going to break down the absolute fastest way to scale and hit your record months here in 2025. And this is, in a lot of ways, a very urgent, limited time thing. So you need to understand, like we'll break down in a moment, attention has shifted. And it's important to act while you can or be left behind, just like we did 10 years ago when we thought Google was just a fad. And I want to break that down for you here real quick. But before we get into that, if you know your business should be growing faster, the real reason is not because you're doing a bad job. Chances are you're doing a very, very good job at what you do. And if you're getting referrals, that means you're doing great things for your clients. But strategies like Angie's List, where Home Advisor, or Thumbtack, where you're getting shared leads and you're basically putting a group chat essentially with all your other competitors, you're paying $60+ for those leads. Google, where you're absolutely competing beyond belief to try and lock down a little bit of attention on a saturated sea of the same kind of businesses. Yelp, where you're dealing with some of the worst reviewers out there. They'll tear you apart for doing the smallest things. And then, of course, word of mouth, which is great. It means you're doing good things for your clients, but you can't install a lever to pull to get predictable solutions with word of mouth. It's just the absolute truth. But what we're going to try and show for you today is how to build basically a broken slot machine where you pop in $1 and 5 to 8 comes out as a return, right? And you can do this predictably. And I'm going to break down for you how you can hit this record year in 2025. It's way simpler than you think, and this ad strategy has indeed helped over 100+ local service businesses absolutely hit this goal in their business. So before we get into that here, I mentioned the attention has shifted. And right here, as you can see, 50 years ago, local businesses that got in the front page of the newspaper were the ones that got the most attention. I can speak to this from personal experience because I grew up towards the very beginning of the Google boom, which we'll get into next. But I remember when I was starting my original business, about 18 years old, I was looking to get an ad here at the front of the newspaper. I remember him saying it's going to be like $800. And I was like, oh my God, I don't have that kind of money as an 18-year-old. And ultimately never got to it. But it was a good thing because, as we know, now you can't give away a newspaper ad. Someone says, oh, you want to get a newspaper ad? You're probably going to look at you. You're probably going to look at them like they're crazy. That's because 10 years ago something else happened and we had this shift here into Google. And the first business on Google to rank the highest got the most business. If you're on the front page and you have the least amount of scroll, boom, you got it. Then you just had to support with reviews and everything else. But now we have so much saturation in this. And it's really clear. It's really clear if we say go on Google here. And let's search for just roofers here in Columbus, right? If we look at this on the map, boom, here we go. We have Columbus on the map here. We'll search this area. Great. And you can see as we scroll, we have a bunch of dots on there that changes through. But if we go, boom, we have a whole nother set of dots that come up. Boom. We have a whole nother set of dots that come up. Boom. And we just keep going. And maybe you're watching this as a roofer. Maybe your business is right here, Nationwide Roofing and Home Improvement. Maybe that's it right there. And you're all the way down here on Google. And you're competing against people that have millions of dollars to basically claim this spot. And tons of resources do all this. As a business owner, let's be honest, you don't really want to learn how to master the art of Google, and you don't really want to pay some agency $2,000 to $3,000 a month to do work that you really can't see if it's working or not until 6 months later. And that's not what we're going on here. That's kind of what's at stake. We have this huge, what we call a red ocean. So imagine an ocean full of fish, and they're sharks, and they're all attacking one another, trying to get attention, and that ocean's completely red from it. Which brings us to today. Today, and into the future, we can be the first local businesses here on Instagram and absolutely dominate a completely blue ocean that's out there. For example, if we were to go back to, say here, right? So let's go to this one, Pro Roofing Solutions Columbus, right? Let's go ahead and open them up, have a look. Boom. Do they have Instagram on here? Let's find out. Boom, they do. And let's see what they got going on. So boom, there we go. And this is probably, like we'll get into later, what your Instagram really looks like. These graphic posts that don't really build any know, like, or trust. And let's be honest, when is the last time you actually bought from something like this? You can see the connection level here, because look at the engagement, look at the comments, the conversation started. But there's other things. There's key missing things here that just don't make sense, which is reflective to why they only have 73 followers, and, you know, they're not utilizing this system to its fullest advantage, right? So we have this golden opportunity here to have a blue ocean and to run one local Instagram ad and absolutely dominate the city with the least amount of cash down. Instead of paying thousands and thousands of dollars for Google ads or lead forms that people say they ghost, we have the opportunity here to have a blue ocean. There's only a couple sharks, maybe even just one shark, depending on your industry, and that ocean is completely blue to be able to enjoy and swim freely, right? And the crazy part is this same strategy that got you watching this video right now, if you're here, is the exact same one that I actually help business owners here in Columbus, Ohio, implement for themselves. So think about it. You came in as a follower, we started a conversation with you, or you've sent in a keyword, you've came to this point right here and you're watching this video and spending time with me, and where we go from here is exactly up to you. Local leads will come to you daily with this system, and you'll finally have a trustworthy brand. People buy from people they know, like, and trust, and that's exactly what we do with this system. It just makes sense. So if you want to have a massive advantage over all your competitors here in Columbus, you need to be the first one to dominate on Instagram, right? So you can see Instagram that's set up properly, plus eyeballs being drawn to that, is a big return. And I can attest for this personally in my growth and success here locally in the area, going from someone that was traveling around the world doing videography work to doing now what I'm doing here, helping local businesses in Columbus, Ohio, grow, scale, and hit record months here right now. And going back to what we said earlier, we're only focused on Instagram because everyone is on there now. We have statistics. We'll get to that in just a sec, but here's the best part. 99% of businesses are posting some graphic stuff like we showed you on that previous profile, right? And they have no real brand. It's just like they think because they have the colors that match and the messaging that kind of matches, they're a brand. But they're not really a brand. A brand is something that when people think roofing, they think your business, for example, if you're a roofer. If you're a pet groomer, they think pet grooming, and they think you're a brand because you're the most known and most trusted in your area, right? They have no real brand. And their profile probably looks something like this, like we saw earlier. And it's just missing so much. Or maybe they're trying to follow trends and you're making videos and you're wondering, well, why aren't these really doing it? Why aren't these really converting anyone? Because nobody wants to watch a trending video from a roofer. What they really want is they want to watch a video that's going to answer their pain points and solve these splinter problems they've got for them that ultimately is going to lead them into a call where they know, like, and trust you, right? Hopefully this makes sense. And you need to go where all this attention is shifting, right? And if you don't, you're going to get left behind. Here's the statistics. Here's the simple statistics. Look it up yourself if you don't trust me. In the United States, approximately 166.2 million people are using Instagram every single day. This makes Instagram one of the most influential social platforms in the country. And on average, users that are 18 plus are spending 33.1 minutes on it daily. And let's be honest, we know that that's a little bit under what the estimation really should be. And overall, Instagram usage in the US is roughly 47% of adults that say they use Instagram. It's a perfect fit for clients to find what it is you do, to be able to trust you, to be able to have a conversation with you. No one cares about your link in the bio. No one cares about it. You have to think of it this way. If your goals are not in line with what Instagram's goals are, you are going to fail. And that's exactly what this strategy is all about, is getting your goals and Instagram's goals in line. And you need to either evolve or have Google 2.0 and get left behind again. Let that sink in. How many times have you thought, dang, I wish I had been earlier on the Google train back in the day. We've been in business 10 plus years. If only we gotten that Maps pack sooner. Exactly. That is the opportunity you have in front of you right now. You have the opportunity to be the first established business of your type with a system that generates the right followers, qualified followers, turns them into leads by starting conversations, into sales calls by having discovery calls, and finally booking them in as paid clients. You have the opportunity right now. You have the opportunity to be the very first of your type of business here in Columbus to do this. Think about that a second. And we can get very hyper specific and targeted on this too, because many of you might now be thinking, well, I don't think my people really live there. They do. Trust me. I can tell you from personal experience that there's so many people on and actively using Instagram that saying that your clientele isn't there, chances are the only way that could fit is if you're not a local service business, right? Tons of homeowners on there, super qualified, and we can get super targeted on that too. We can hit the exact locations you want to serve. This is where I'm serving right now. I've got some dead center here in the Westerville area, and I'm going up into the Columbus and Marysville area too. Boom, my ad is hitting you right now. And if you've seen my ad and you're here right now, that means it's worked. So let that sink in here. We can choose the gender, the age, what they're into. We can target a 24-year-old female that loves coffee, living in the short north off of Buttles and High. We can target those people easily. And it's all about giving the one right Instagram ad that is going to generate that attention into conversation, into booked calls, into sales. And that's what we're here to learn. Now, I have a proven process that works the first time, every time to make this happen. And the best part is you're not going to have to do some crazy agency model where you're paying me $2 to $3K a month to maybe get your results in 3 months. No. The way our model works is within a few weeks, within a week, we get your ad shot, we get it up, and we start getting your results. We start starting your conversations, and I help you actually implement this system in your business over the course of months so that there is absolutely no stone left unturned as to what to do, and so you never have to pay an agency or get sucked into that agency model ever again. And for those of you out there that are on that right now, this is your antidote. I promise you, this is the antidote to your problems dealing with agencies and having to pay that much monthly, right? We've got it all mapped out for you, and I'd love to break it down for you. So the question is really, make this big so we can really hit this home. Can you handle more jobs right now? If the answer is yes, you're leaving money on the table. Can you handle more leads coming in every day? Again, if the answer is yes, you're leaving money on the table. And are you ready to take over your city? That's what I'm going to help you implement here. That is what this is all about. This strategy will help you with one Instagram ad and the setting framework absolutely dominate your city. And the best part is, it works the first time every time. Not only do I help my clients one-on-one, but I'm also going to help you become the best known in your city, here in Columbus, help you launch a winning ad so it converts extremely well. We'll tell you exactly what to say or do. Doesn't matter if you have regulations on your business, we've been able to get around that, and we continue to get around that even today. Whether you're life insurance, whether you're a realtor, it doesn't not matter. I've taken the time to learn exactly how to get around all those problems that you've dealt with in the past trying to run ads yourself or figure it out on your own. I'm going to help you convert leads from Instagram into sales. That's exactly what our setting script does. It's magic, and it does things properly, and it does things in a way that feels really genuine. It gets past that trust recession that we're in right now. And we're going to help you become the go-to service business here in Columbus in your particular niche. Just that simple. And you'll finally have an advantage over every one of your competitors, and they won't know what to do. Chances are they're going to try and imitate you, replicate you, but the best part is, without having every piece of the puzzle, it doesn't matter for them. They're going to continue to struggle, right? And this will help you dominate here in Columbus if that's not obvious. That's what we're here to do, right? So if you're ready to grow your business predictably and you want a little bit more information on how this might be able to help you, then please go onto Instagram. Boom. Go to my profile here at Jacob Michaels Official. Chances are if you're watching this, you've already been here, and send me a DM with ads. That's what you have to do. If you do that, I'll be able to book in, coordinate a 5-minute call so we can see if it's a good fit and tell you a little bit more about the system. If we already had a chat, then I'm looking forward to meeting you in person or, on a Zoom call and giving you more information. All that being said, if you're sitting there right now and you're debating whether to take action, it's a 5-minute phone call. What are you doing? This could be the difference between you getting left behind and you going and having the record year that you've been looking for the last however long you've been in business. And if you're just getting started, this is equally as valuable for you because we have ways for you to start, implement, become the best known in your city, even with 0 results. That being said, I look forward to talking to you, and I'll see you on the other side. Cheers.